Welcome back. This is a bonus video just for you. I wanted to make a video just specifically about the how, what, and when of intermittent fasting and share with you the one thing that I share with all of my private clients that work with me, how to eat. And it sounds really simple, but this is the one thing that has made the most significance, the biggest change for all of my clients that they all make comments about is really the how to eat. So I'm going to share that with you in this bonus video. So when we're talking about intermittent fasting, maybe you are somebody who is new to intermittent fasting, like you just kind of heard about it, started looking into it, but haven't really practiced it yet. This video is for you. If you are a seasoned intermittent faster, so maybe you've done it in the past and it worked for you for a little bit, then you kind of stopped and you went back to it, and maybe you never really got the results that you were actually looking for, or maybe you kind of knew that there was a way that you could intensify it or make some changes. You just really weren't sure how to go about it. This video is for you too. So let's get into the what to eat when you're intermittent fasting. So what you eat is so incredibly important when you intermittent fast. And the one thing that I do want to say right off the bat is intermittent fasting, this is such a myth. Intermittent fasting is not an excuse to eat whatever it is that you want to eat during your eating window. So when it is that period of time where you're eating and you're not fasting, you just want to eat the chips and the cake and the Subway and the this and the that and the cookies and the noodles and everything. If that's what you're going to eat during that eating window and you're just going to eat all during that time of your eating window, you're not going to see results. You're going to undo all of the amazing things that can possibly happen for you during your fasting window, during your fasting time. You're going to undo all of that when you're eating constantly and eating junk. So, what you eat is so important. So, what should you be eating? You want to be eating one ingredient or limited ingredient foods, whole, real foods. Again, like I said in one of the earlier videos, nothing from a box, a bag, or a window. No fast food. You want to be eating whole, real, nutritious food that you make. It has to be one ingredient or limited ingredients, nutrient dense foods, high volume foods. And that is a whole nother video that I can make. Actually, I've made several videos about high volume foods. But high volume foods are nutrient dense, low calorie, full of fiber, full of water. There are certain types of foods that you can incorporate into your diet that can help to fill you up, that are, again, nutrient dense, because nutrients are the name of the game, especially when we are only eating in a specified amount of time. You want to pack as many nutrients as you can. And so high volume foods, one ingredient, limited ingredient foods are all perfect for this. So this is the what to eat. Okay, this is the first part. How. The how to eat your food. This is like the secret sauce, the secret thing that I teach all of my clients that they always have. It blows their mind the first time that they go to do this, because you don't realize what a habit you get into of how you eat your food. And until I tell you this and you actually start to implement it, you're going to realize, wow, what have I been doing the entire time? So when I talk about how you eat your food, I'm first going to teach you how to make your plate, how to actually set up your plate. Because again, we are entirely changing what we are eating. So whole foods, one ingredient, limited ingredient foods. We're going to be laying out our plate. So when you're looking at your plate, I want you to divide your plate in half. And then I want you to take half of that plate and divide it into another half. So you're going to have 3 sections on your plate. Half of your plate is going to be vegetables, straight up vegetables. It can be salad. It can be a mix of salad and vegetables. I want it to be vegetables. Vegetables are also high volume foods. Again, those are the types of foods that you want. They're going to fill you up. They're full of fiber, water, very nutrient dense. Half of your plate, vegetables, okay? Then one little section of that plate that's left, that other third, you are going to put your starch or your carb. You're going to put that there. And then the other section of your plate is for your protein. And so what I love about how I teach and how I start to implement this new way of eating with my clients is there is no measuring. There is no counting calories. We're not weighing shit. We're not portioning out things. We're not logging or tracking calories or macros. We're not doing any of that stuff. We are simply looking at your plate and how you put your plate together. And if we are automatically choosing foods that are one ingredient or limited ingredient, whole real foods that are nutrient dense, high volume foods, you're automatically shifting away from those high calorie, high fat, high carb foods, highly refined. You're automatically switching to more nutrient dense, lower calorie, lower fat, more fiber, more nutrients. You automatically do that. So there's no need to count calories or fat or anything like that. Just simply look at your plate. Half vegetable, one part, then divide that in half, and then you have your carb, and then you've got your protein. That's all you need to think about. Now, what order are you going to eat this food in? That is the next important part. You want to start with your protein. I want you to eat your protein first. Then I want you to eat your vegetable. Eat your vegetable next. Now, save your carb for last because more than likely you are eating slowly, paying attention to what you're eating. You're listening to your body. You're stopping when you're full. More than likely, you're going to start to get full by the time you get to this carbohydrate portion of your plate. Only take a couple bites. I want you to stop eating when you are full. This is going to be another thing that you're going to have to learn and start implementing is stopping eating when you are full, paying attention to your body, eating slowly, eating with intention, paying attention to what you are eating. This is very critical because most of our weight gain and most of our overeating is emotional. It's from habit. It's from not being mindful. It's just from going through the motions. It's from shoving food in our face. It's from so many bad habits that we have around food. So slow down, pay attention, save your carbohydrate for last. By the time you get to that carb, you will more than likely only be able to take a couple bites of it and you'll be done. Then I want you to get rid of that plate. Give it to the dog, throw it in the trash, just get rid of it. Before your mind can even think too much into it, you need to get rid of it. You absolutely have to. Don't let it sit around because then you will be tempted to start picking and eating. Once you are done, you are done. Get rid of it. That is all you need to do is just to get rid of that plate when you are done. So start with your protein, eat your vegetable, then eat your carbohydrate last. That is a really great way to change how you're eating. If you are dealing, and if you're one of my clients working with me privately, if you're dealing with some other health issues, there might be a slight change in how I want you to eat and what order. But for the majority of people that are watching this and that are just starting out, this is a really great way to redo how you eat your food. And it sounds so weird, but we really do need to retrain ourselves and rethink how we consume our food. And there is a method to the madness. There is a reason behind it. You want to fill yourself up with that protein first. Protein takes a long time to digest. Takes up a lot of room, but protein has protein in it, right? We're looking to a meat source, or if it's a non-meat source, it has protein, has amino acids, it has all the things that we need in it. So many vitamins and micronutrients that we need. We want to be eating that piece of protein. Then we want to be eating our vegetables, again, nutrient dense, full of fiber, full of so many micronutrients, phytochemicals. That's what we want. We don't really need so much of the carbohydrate. We do need carbs, but your body can get fuel and energy from the fat on your body. That is the whole reason that you are doing this, because you have excess fat. Let's be real. We have collection of fat in our bodies that we just are having a stubborn time getting rid of. So why are we adding more carbohydrates to our diet? And I'm not advocating for going low carb, zero carb, keto, or anything like that. If that is something that you choose to do, that is on you. And you can certainly adapt this eating style to that. But I am just saying that if you start with your protein, go to your veg, then go to your carb, you will see a marked improvement in your overall health, in your weight, and how you're feeling, in your insulin and glucose levels, just by doing that. Just by doing that. Okay. So now let's get in the when to eat, fasting times. There are so many fasting times out there, different protocols that you can do. You can do OMAD, which is 1 meal a day. You can do 2 meals a day. You can do 16 and 8, 12 and 12. I mean, it's pretty much whatever you want it to be. Okay. So the biggest key to remember is you have a period of time where you are not eating and a period of time that you are eating. So I like to tell people to leverage their sleep as a fasting time. And actually, I had a client who told me that her husband was somewhat making fun of her and kept saying that she was cheating because she was using her sleeping time as fasting. And he tried to tell her that no, that sleeping doesn't count. And I'm like, no, like it totally counts. Fasting is while you're asleep. You are fasting while you're asleep. So leverage that time, work your fasting time into that. And everybody's schedules are different. And that's what I love about fasting is you can adapt it to anybody's schedule, days, nights, evenings, weekends, whatever it is that you got going on. You can adapt it to your workout schedule as well. It takes a little bit more planning, and that's why working with somebody to help you figure out what fasting pattern will work best for you. But for the majority of people, I always recommend by starting out with a 12-hour fast. So when you eat your last meal, that's it. And you can set a timer on your phone. There's all kinds of fasting apps. I personally like to use Zero, Zero. It's a fasting app. It's free. I like to use it. So you can use that. There's all kinds of other ones like I think Yazio has one. There's so many different ones out there. Just put fasting app in the Play Store. You'll find it. And you can set that timer as soon as you eat your last meal. And as far as drinking, if you're going to drink anything that has calories in it, that is still considered a food. So fasting is, and I got to turn off my phone. I'm so sorry. Fasting is no calories, okay? No calories at all. So if you're drinking something that has calories in it, like coffee with a creamer or anything like that, that's still considered eating, okay? Even though it's just a drink, it's still considered eating. So just think about, when is the last thing that you're going to consume that has calories in it? That's where you want to cut it off and start your fasting time. So say the last thing that you ate was at 8 p.m. You are going to start fasting till 8 a.m. And then at 8 a.m., you can start eating and drinking whatever you want until 8 p.m. Okay, that would be like a 12 and 12. Now, the longer you go, the better the results that you're going to get from intermittent fasting. You're going to get a lot of those benefits that we talked about in some of those other videos, like autophagy and the insulin sensitivity and all of that. That will start to increase and be better the longer that you can fast. So how do you extend your fasting times? You just jump to like 16 hours? No, I want you to do it slowly and do it gradually. See how you feel. And usually the protocol that I run through is having somebody get used to a fasting time for about 2 weeks and then kind of reevaluating and then have them push it a little bit further. And one really great general piece of advice that you can start doing is start with those 12 hours. See how you feel getting used to 12 hours of fasting. Then push it by like 30 minutes. 30 minutes more, 30 minutes more, 30 minutes more, and do this over a period of time. It's not going to happen overnight. And that is probably the biggest downfall that I see people run into, is pushing too hard too fast, because then you will crash, you will hit a wall, you will get overwhelmed, you'll find excuses, and then you'll just be repeating the same cycle that you've been in your entire life with dealing with this. So go slow, push it, 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. And then before you know it, you're going to be up to like 16 hours and your body will have adjusted to it. And this is one thing that I do want to stress, is that, our bodies are always seeking balance. They're always seeking homeostasis. Okay. And so we don't ever want to push our bodies too hard, because they're going to always want to get back to what our body considers normal for us. And that's one thing that I can relate this to, that people can understand, is blood sugar. So many diabetics, type 2 diabetics, have very high blood sugar all the time. They're running around with 200, 300, 400 blood sugar level. And when you're used to living for years and years and years like that, when we finally start to try to get those patients down to a quote unquote normal blood sugar level of like 90 or 100, they feel very sick. They do not feel good. it is very difficult on their body. And actually, dropping blood sugars too fast can really cause a lot of problems for people. Same thing goes for blood pressure. When we're going down on blood pressure, we have to go very slowly, very gradually, because our body has to take time to adjust, to rebound, and to come back. You don't want to think about it as like a free fall, right? That can be very dangerous. We want to do it as gradual. Okay, we're going to have ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs, but we're going to be trending. We want to think of where we're trending, where are we going? So we want to do it slowly, because our body is always going to want to defer back to what it's used to. And what it's used to is not living in a healthy state. And that's what our body is going to want to refer back to. But we are making a new normal, right, with what we're doing with the intermittent fasting. So it's going to take our body time to adjust. But your body always knows what to do. Your body will always get there. We just have to give it the time, give it the grace to get it to where it needs to be, to where we are wanting to go. And it takes time, right? You did not end up with these problems overnight. They were acquired over a period of years, over such a long time. So give your body the chance to calm down slowly, to adjust gradually. Okay. This is a lifetime, a lifestyle that you're thinking of. So we need to keep that in mind. We're very used to quick fix microwave results, like the American way, like you want it now, you got to get it now. It's not the case, especially when it comes to your health. We have to do things safely. So always gradual, 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 and see how your body feels. Always keep in tune with your body and what feels good to you. Okay. So those are some of the times and how you can start to gradually extend it and extend it. And as you become a pro and you get used to it, you can do your 1 meal a day. You can do your 24-hour fast. You can do your 36-hour fast. I recommend, once you're a seasoned faster and been doing it for a long time, once a month, you should totally have a 24-hour or 48-hour fast, at least once a month, to reset everything, to get everything going again. It's fantastic for overall health, for maintenance. It's amazing. But again, that's once you get seasoned and you get into it. And there's all kinds of things that you can help to make that process easier. And actually, I didn't even get into dirty fasting. Dirty fasting is something else that you can do that mimics fasting, but where you are still consuming a very low amount of calories, certain things that you can drink, certain things that you can eat that will still mimic fasting, but it's called dirty fasting instead. And that can be a really great way to extend your fast, or to start transition into longer and longer fasts in an easier way for you. And this is, again, where working with somebody who is very knowledgeable in fasting can definitely help you. So dirty fasting is something I won't get into in today's video too much. I just wanted to introduce that option to you. If you'd like to learn more about it, definitely reach out and ask me some questions. It is something that I have used with several clients, that it does help with the intermittent fasting and getting to those longer and longer periods of time. And I dirty intermittent fast quite frequently, and it works very well for me. Again, it's always finding something that works best for you and your lifestyle. No two of us are the same. So what works for you might not work for me, and vice versa. So it's always about finding something that works best for you. And always consider that there's so much out there. Always just think about yourself, and is this working for me? Is this getting me to where I want to be? How can I adjust this? And always feel free to ask questions, get resources. That's what I'm here for. So I hope that this video has shed some light on the intermittent fasting and the how, the what, the when of fasting, and gave you some insight into dirty fasting and some other things that you can do around that. So again, my name is Dr. Alex Rosa. Thank you so much for joining me for this 3-part series, Ignite Your Metabolism, the masterclass. And as always, any questions, comments, suggestions, feel free to reach out to me directly. You can find me on all the socials or send me an email. I would love to get to know you better and possibly work with you one-on-one with my 90-day metabolic makeover, either a 6-month or 12-month concierge wellness program. Or I am offering now VIP days. It's a comprehensive VIP day. We do your labs. We do all the things. We come up with a plan for you. Everything is laid out for you, but we just do it in a compressed amount of time. So if you're super, super busy, this might be a really great option for you. It's also the most cost-effective way to work with me as well. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely reach out. And like I always say, for a balanced life, just add spice. Talk to you later.